on Stargate for then?
Well, after Voyager ended, I was asked to guest star, I believe, in season 6 of... I'm sorry, there's a large electronic robot coming up behind me, and he makes a lot of noise. But we are at a convention, and the crowd expects that. So I was on Stargate SG-1 the first time, I believe, in season 6 or 7, in an episode called Heroes Part 2. They introduced me as a kind of a one-off villain named Richard Woolsey. I think the producers decided they liked me because they decided to bring me back, but then they had painted themselves in a corner by having me be such a jerk. But every time they had me back, they kind of, how should I put this, rehabilitated my image slightly. I had some tiny positive quality in the midst of my overall general negative impression that redeemed me somewhat. And they kept doing this so that I did, I don't know, about 5 or 6 or 7 episodes of SG-1. Then they had me start guest starring on Atlantis. And then by season 5, they made me the commander of the Atlantis expedition. So apparently Richard Woolsey was fully redeemed. And now I understand that in the books, Richard Woolsey's like a downright hero in some of the books.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's good to hear. I mean, apparently I turned out to be far better a person than we ever imagined.
Right. Are you pleased about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Redemption is very important. It's actually the foundational idea of my faith. So I'm a believer in redemption. I think that's something we should all work for,
right.
Whether we're Richard Woolsey or anybody else.
Right. So, do you find it easier playing good guys or bad guys?
I think I've made a career niche out of playing what we call guys you love to hate, a character that makes an initial negative impression and then you grow to like him in spite of that initial impression, either through his foibles or neuroses that he somehow reveals to you. I think the Doctor was very much like that. Even back to my character on China Beach, I played an army surgeon who seemed very full of himself, but had a kind of a softer underbelly once he discovered that his wife divorced him back home and he was having a nervous breakdown. I mean, it's fun to play characters that are putting on a social mask, and then under pressure or it. Various events, or when the audience finds out that they're under stress or difficult life situation, they can't hold up that mask anymore, and you see what's behind them, and you actually like what's behind them better than what the mask is. Does that make any sense?
It does.
So the hidden man, the inner man, is more interesting perhaps than the man that was originally projected. I have a web series based on the New York Times best-selling adult novel series called Morganville Vampires, and that will premiere on Geek and Sundry in September. And I play a 450-year-old vampire who may or may not be Oliver Cromwell. I know, it's crazy. And I look like an old hippie, which is good because I had the old part down, and they just gave me a long-haired wig to make me look like an old hippie.
Brilliant. Okay. Just finally, what's your abiding memory of Stargate?
My abiding memory of Stargate is David Hewlett making me laugh so much I almost peed in my uniform. You know, David Hewlett is one of the funniest people I've ever worked with. He has a way of complaining and whining that is more delightful than, I mean, complainers and whiners usually are annoying, and I've had enough of them very quickly, but his complaining and whining was absolutely hilarious. So he can complain and whine to me whenever he wants. If you're out there, David, I mean that.